Hello there, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Prim ASMR. We have ourselves a little special guest, actually two special guests today. We have Grover, and we have Ernie back here. And the reason that they are here today is because we have a couple special albums for today's album episode. And yes, that right there, that is Grover, which is right here. So, I have this album to show you. Not only do I have that one, but I also have this one. Sesame Street Concert on Stage Live. And the reason that I'm doing a Sesame Street tribute today is because Sesame Street Day is on the 10th of this month. So that's pretty cool. I looked it up a couple months ago, looked up when Sesame Street Day is, because I've had these albums for before I even moved, so I've had them like probably 6 months or so. But I looked up when Sesame Street Day was because I thought it would be nice to do a special episode talking about it, showing you guys a few different items that I have. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started with showing you guys the albums. Okay, so I'm gonna try to set Grover here by his pal Ernie, if we can. Hopefully we can. We'll just set him right there. 2 pounds. Yeah, that's cute. Move him over so you can see him a little bit better. There we go. Okay. So, the first thing that I want to show you is this one. And this is called Grover Sings the Blues. And I know there's a lot of you out there that like the blues, singing the blues. So, Grover sings the blues on this album. And here he says, "I am so proud." Hold it closer so you can see. So, there's a lot of information on the back here. I'm going to read all this to you. But first, on the front, there's a few songs that is included on this album. So I'm going to read those to you first, and then we will get started on the back. So this album here includes What Do I Do When I'm Alone? Still We Like Each Other, Over, Under, Around, and Through, the 2G sounds, Just Because, ... and other favorites. So, there's more included on this album, but those are the ones that are listed here. So, I'm gonna go ahead and flip this around and see what we got on the back. Okay. So right here in the top corner, it says, The Electric Company. I'm going to hold that closer in case you're watching. So, The Electric Company, right here. And then over here, it says Sesame Street. Sesame Street. Alright, so I'm going to start reading on this side here. And then we're going to move down the row and end up over here. And I'm going to read you all this, okay? So, it starts by telling what songs are on which side. So, the first one, on side 1, it is, what do I do when I'm alone? And in parentheses it says Moss, M-O-S-S, Grover. So number 2 is name the animal. And then it says Grover, Ernie, and the Muppets are singing that song. Pretty cool. Number 3 is Grover Takes a Walk. And that is sung by Grover. Old Grover over here, singing the blues. Number 4, has anybody seen my dog? Has anyone seen his dog? That one is sung by Grover and Marty. Number 5 is Four Furry Friends. And that one is sung by Grover, Oscar, Harry, and Cookie Monster. I bet that one is a very fun and cute song. I bet it's cute. Number 6 is Still We Like Each Other. And in parentheses it says Moss, M-O-S-S. And Grover and Little Boy sing that song together. So there are 6 songs complete on side 1. So those were those. And side 2 has a few more songs on it. It has 8 songs total. 8 complete songs. So I'm going to go ahead and read to you this list right here. The first one, it says, I am blue. He's literally blue, but he's also blue because he's singing the blues. So, yeah. Number 2 is the 2 G sounds. Grover and George sing that one. Number 3 is called Me, and that is sung by Grover. Singing a song about yourself. Number 4 is I Stand Up Straight and Tall. Straight and tall. And that one is also sung by Grover. So we are on song number 5 of this side. And it is called The Question Song. And it is sung by Grover and Little Girl. Number 6 is called Over, Under, Around, and Through, and that one is sung by Grover. Number 7 is Just Because, and that one is sung by Grover and Little Girl. And the very last one on side 2, which is song number 8, is called Near and Far, and that one is sung by Grover. So I'm going to go ahead and read to you guys all of the names that are on the album of people that helped with the album, helped produce the album, art directors, stuff like that. So if I mispronounce anything, feel free to correct me or, just enjoy the sounds, okay? So the album was produced by Joe Raposo. Project supervisor was Arthur Shimkin. Words and music mostly by Jeffrey Moss and Joe Raposo. Musical director is Joe Raposo. Head writer is Jeffrey Moss. Music coordinator is Danny Epstein. Editing by James Timmons. Project coordinator was Jackie Turner. I think it's Jackie. It is spelled Jacquie. Turner. The art director is Robert Pierce. Photography was Judy Ross and Sandy Spicer. Properties director was Nat Mongoy. Project directors for CTW was Christopher Kerf and Sharon Lerner. And then this next box here, it has a list of all the cast members. So I'm going to read that to you next, okay? The cast members. And there's two different sections. There's a cast under Sesame Street, and there's a cast under the Muppets. So I'm going to start with the cast from Sesame Street. And again, if I mispronounce anything, I am so sorry. I try my best. Okay, so the first one is Northern Calloway as David, Emilio Delgado as Lewis, Will Lee as Mr. Hooper, Loretta Long as Susan, Sonia Manzano as Maria, Bob McGrath as Bob, Hal Miller as Gordon. So the next list I will be reading from is the cast of the Muppets. Okay, so created by Jim Henson. The first one is Carol Spinney as Big Bird and Oscar, Frank Oz as Cookie Monster, Grover, and Bert, Jerry Nelson as Herbert Birdsfoot, Snuffleupagus, the Count, Sherlock, Hemlock, Farley, Harry Monster, and Marty. So Jerry Nelson did a lot of different voices. The next one is Fran Brill as various little girls, and Jim Henson as Ernie. Oh, Ernie over here. So, the next one, the next little box, it says, a message to parents from the Children's Television Workshop, producers of Sesame Street. And it says, with this record, Sesame Street is only as far away as your record player. Now, your child can visit his Sesame Street friends at any time of day and discover the same combination of entertainment and education found on our television programs. Children familiar with Sesame Street characters will delight in hearing their favorites again and again. But even those who have never watched the show will be able to enjoy and learn from this album. Workshop revenues from this project will be used to support the continuing production of Sesame Street, which is lovely. So that completes the whole side right here of information that was included on this album. So some lovely recognition to different members that helped make this album here happen, and recognition to all of the cast members. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and read the next side over here, and it says Other Sesame Street Records. The first one, Bert's Blockbusters. Number 2, The Electric Company. Number 3, Letters and Numbers. Number 4, Ernie's Hits. You had your own hit record album? Check out this guy, having his own hits record album. Oh my gosh. Okay, the next one, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The 5th album that they have listed is Sing the Hit Songs from Sesame Street. Next one is C is for Cookie. And the next one is Big Bird Sings. So the next record is Somebody Come and Play. The next record is Let a Frown Be Your Umbrella. The next album is Pete Seeger and Brother Kirk Visit Sesame Street. The next one is Sesame Street 1 Original Cast. And there's 2 more albums that you can look out for that they have listed on this album. And those are Grover Sings the Blues, which is this one. And the last one that they have mentioned is My Name is Roosevelt Franklin. So I just read all of these albums that are mentioned that you can keep your eye out for if you want to start collecting these yourself. So I'm going to read this next list, and these are favorite LP packages. So these are Sesame Street 1 Original Cast, Sesame Street Live, The Muppet Alphabet Album, Having Fun with Ernie and Bert, Sesame Street Carry About, Muppet Alphabet Album Carry About, Having Fun with Ernie and Bert Carry About, and Sesame Mucho, English and Spanish. So that's pretty cool. So that is what that list says right there. Now we have one more box to read on this. Okay. So, these are book and record sets that you can get. Okay, so I'm going to read those to you in case you are listening and wanting to learn all the different ones that you can look out for and collect. Okay, so you got Sesame Street, Hello. This means slash. Okay, so if I do this, that means slash hello. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, jump. Number 5, 5 people in my family. I've got 2. One of these things, up and down. People in your neighborhood. Somebody come and play. Going for a ride. And I love trash. Everybody wash, rubber ducky, and rub your tummy. Nearly missed a face. What are kids called? Green. Roosevelt Franklin's numbers. Just because. Safety boy blues. The skin I'm in. Roosevelt Franklin's days of the week. Mopedy Mosley's month of the year. Months of the year. So that's that whole list right there. I'm going to go ahead and read this next one. Muppet ABCD, Muppet EFGH, Muppet IJKL, Muppet MNOP, Muppet QRST, Muppet UVW, Muppet XYZ. Lots of stuff, clink clank. Tiger Hunt, Imagination, Marching Song, Just Three Colors, Listening Game, Pat Pat Patty Pat, Name the Animal, Simple Song, Magic Cookie, The Drawing Song, Grover Takes a Walk, Y'all Fall Down, and Put It Away. Alright, and the year on this album that says down at the bottom is 1974. So, this has been around for quite a bit now. Quite a long time. And I'm gonna slide the record out and just see if there's any cool looking things on the middle part. So, it's in pretty good condition. You can see my curtain through the reflection of this, but the yellow part is what we are looking for. It says Sesame Street, and it says all the songs that are on side A, which I read to you just a bit ago, and then on this side it says all the songs that are included on side B. So, cool. One of these days, I'm going to invest in a packet of sleeves. They're not that expensive, and I know a place that sells them. So, that way we can have sleeves on every episode. Because they make wonderful sounds. At least I think they do. I love the sleeve sounds. Crinkle, crinkle. Okay. So that completes this album here. And once again, that is called Grover Sings the Blues. So thank you, Grover, for singing the blues for us. Okay, the next album that I have to show you, which, yes, this one has a sleeve. And I'm not sure how great of condition that this sleeve here is in. We're gonna find out, and it's gonna make great sounds anyways, even if it is a little bit rustic, a little bit tattered, but that's okay. So, on this vinyl, you're gonna see all kinds of characters, well, a few characters. You got Grover, you got the Cookie Monster down here, and you got Big Bird, which we all love Big Bird. And here it says, Sesame Street Concert on Stage Live. Concert on Stage Live. And I'll hold that closer in case you want to get a better look at it. And there's all kinds of, well, there's a few people having fun on stage with them, singing and stuff. It's always nice to see people having a good old time, being happy and, having fun. So that's nice. There's no other words or information on the front side, but it's so cool. So I'm gonna just take a little tiny bit, make some tapping sounds on the front before we flip it over and look at the back side, okay? some of you have requested just this tapping. I just want to tell you, after I get done reading the back of this record, I have all kinds of stuff to show you guys, which I plan to do a separate video of these, but there's all kinds of cute little books that I just want to show you, and also I have this to still show you. I'm going to do some close-up things with that. And I also wrote down a ton of facts, just fun Sesame Street facts. So this episode still has a pretty long way to go. So just sit back and relax and keep enjoying, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and flip this over and start reading. And this box here, it will list all of the songs that are included on this one. So the side one, song number 1, is Sesame Street Theme by The Company. Number 2 is called Welcome, and that is by Susan, Lewis, Gordon, David, Bob, and Maria. Number 3 is The Arm, and that is by David. How Do I Know I'm Here by Big Bird, Lewis, Bob, Susan, and Maria. Number 5 is Tu Me Gustas. In parentheses it says I Like You, and that is by Maria. Number 6 is Show Me How You Feel, and that one is by Gordon. Number 7, Mr. Hooper's Poem by Mr. Hooper, of course. Number 8 is C for Cookie. C is for Cookie by the Cookie Monster. And that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 songs on side 1. So side 2, here we go. Number 1 is My Little Game by Susan. Number 2, Believe in Yourself by Lewis. Number 3, What Can I Do by Bob. Number 4, Still We Like Each Other by Grover. Number 5, My Name is David by David, Susan, and Lewis and Bob. Number 6, Nobody by Snuffleupagus. 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 I love saying that word. Somebody asked me what my favorite word was one time on this channel, and I didn't know what to say, so I'm just going to say it right now. It's Snuffleupagus. Snuffleupagus. Number 7 is Sing, and that is by Bob and everyone. Everyone out there. So that is the last song on this album. And that was 7 songs on side 2. Okay, and like the last album that we read from, there's a little box here that gives recognition. Sorry, I couldn't think of it at first. Recognition to all of the people that helped put this album together, okay? So I am going to take a moment and read those to you. Album produced by Joe Raposo. project supervisor was Arthur Shimkin. Written and directed by Jeffrey Moss. Live show produced by David Connell. Music coordinator, I skipped a line. Musical director, Joe Raposo. Project director, Christopher Kerf. Music coordinator, Danny Epstein. Studio control and editing, Jim Timmons. Assistant music director, David Connor. Properties director, Nat Mongoy. Art director, Robert Pierce. Cover photography by Neil Selkirk. Production coordinators, Lynn Klugman, Joan Lafrano, and Jackie Turner. And Gary Van Rees, Evangeline Vaughn. Maybe. Engineering by Frank Leko and Arthur Kendi. So a huge shout out to all these lovely people that made this album happen, Huge thank you to you guys. I doubt you're ever gonna see this, but you guys made so many people happy with these records and helping with Sesame Street. It is amazing. It's amazing. Okay, so I read this to you guys. Now I'm gonna read this little box down here, okay? So this is the cast. And again, just like the last one, they have a section for Sesame Street and a section for the Muppets. So I'm gonna start on this side with Sesame Street. And the names are Northern Calloway as David, Emilio Delgado as Louis, Will Lee as Mr. Hooper, Loretta Long as Susan, Sonia Manzano as Maria, Bob McGrath as Bob, and Hal Miller as Gordon. And then under the Muppets, it says created by Jim Henson, Carol Spinney as Big Bird, Frank Oz as Cookie Monster and Grover, and Jerry Nelson as Snuffleupagus. Okay. And again, on this one, it says, a message to parents from the Children's Television Workshop, producers of Sesame Street. And I will read this again to you guys, because I'm not sure if it says the same exact thing. I'm going to actually check. Maybe they have a unique message on every album. Okay, so it is the same message, but I'm going to go ahead and read that to you guys again, okay? I hope you don't mind. With this record, Sesame Street is only as far away as your record player. Now your child can visit his Sesame Street friends at any time of day and discover the same combination of entertainment and education found on our television programs. Children familiar with the Sesame Street characters will delight in hearing their favorites again and again. But even those who have never watched the show will be able to enjoy and learn from this album. Workshop revenues from this project will be used to support the continuing production of Sesame Street. And the year on this album is 1977, so this is 3 years later from the Grover Sings the Blues album. Okay, so that completes this whole side here. I'm going to go ahead and read this top part, this top section. And it says, other Sesame Street records. Bert's Blockbuster, The Electric Company, Letters and Numbers, Ernie's Hits, Sing the Hit Songs from Sesame Street, C is for Cookie, Big Bird Sings, Play Along Songs, Let a Frown Be Your Umbrella, Pete Seeger and Brother Kirk Visit Sesame Street 1 original cast. Grover sings the blues. Roosevelt Franklin, Bert and Ernie sing along. The Count counts. Sesame Street Monsters, The Frog Prince, The Muppet Musicians of Bremen, Sesame Street 2 original cast, Concert on Stage Live, Let Your Feelings Show, Signs, and Sesame Mucho. So, those are different ones that you can look out for. I think there was a few different ones than what that one said. Okay. Favorite LP packages. There's just 4 that are listed on this one. Okay, so the Muppet Alphabet album is the first one. The second one is Having Fun with Ernie and Bert. Number 3, Merry Christmas from Sesame Street. Oh, that one would be awesome to have. Listen to it on Christmas night or Christmas Eve. Yeah. Okay, number 4 is Gold, limited edition 2 record set. That would also be a really cool one to have. So, we read this part right here. The last section is Sesame Street 45 RPM singles. Sesame Street theme, Going for a Ride. What's the name of the song? Sing. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I just adore 4. Counting is Wonderful, the Song of Count. I Want a Monster to Be My Friend, The Lovable Monsters of Sesame Street. I Refuse to Sing Along, Come On and Sing Along with Me. What Do I Do When I'm Alone? Still We Like Each Other. C is for Cookie. If I Knew You Were Coming, I'd have baked a cake. I'd have baked a cake. Everyone Makes Mistakes. Everyone has those days. No, it says A Really Good Feeling. The Grouch song, Rain Falls. Rubber Ducky, El Petito. Roosevelt Franklin Counts. Roosevelt Franklin's Alphabet. Doin' the Pigeon. I Want to Hold Your Ear. Doin' the Snuffleupagus. Nobody. This Land Is Your Land. Oh, that's a nice song. I like that song. Michael Rowe, The Boat Ashore. To Me Gustas, Me and Yo. Imagination. Tiger Hunt. Cookie's Rhythm Song. No. Cookie's Rhyming Song. I'm sorry. Up and Down. My Name is David. Subtraction Blues. One of These Things. What Are Kids Called? So that is that whole side. I'm going to read this next side to you. Simple song, Name the Animal. Somebody Come and Play. A very simple song. Welcome, I've got 2. La 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 dee dee dee. No matter what your language, can't sing. Listening game, pat pat patty pat. Count it higher, exit. I, Grover. Over and under, around and through. Mad, sad, frazzle fur. I can't help it, circles. I love trash, grouch's lullaby. Rub your tummy, everybody wash. People in my family, people in your neighborhood. Being green, I am blue. Octopus garden, yellow submarine. Muppet ABCD, Muppet EFGH, Muppet IJKL, Muppet Iminopi, Muppet QRST, Muppet UVW, and Muppet XYZ. And that's the very last song on this list, or the very last singles. So that was all the information that was included on this album. I'm gonna see if the sleeve has anything special. Actually, the record wasn't in the sleeve, but we're gonna fix that. So let's look at this. It looks like it is in pretty good condition. I see a couple of scratches on it, but hey, I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining at all. It is pretty good. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this in the sleeve, that way I can make some relaxing sounds with it. So I'm looking at this and I don't know if it came like this or if the previous owners of this album did this or not, because I did get this at a resale shop. This wasn't brand new or anything when I got it, but there's a little drawing on each side. So if anyone out there in the world has this exact record, which is this one, if you have this record and you don't have these drawings, I'd love to know, because I can't tell if they are supposed to be there or not. But like on this side, there's a little drawing of a sorry piece, like the game board sorry, the little pieces on that. There's a little drawing of one of those pieces, so I'm not sure. I don't think it's supposed to be there. And then on this side, there's a little drawing, and I don't know if that's supposed to be like a jellyfish or a hamburger bun, maybe, with sesame seeds on. Sesame seeds, Sesame Street. So I don't know. That was a little joke those people drew on it or something. I don't know. But yeah, it's pretty interesting. You never know what you're gonna get when you purchase a used album, or used anything for that matter. There could be drawings on the tags or whatever. So it's pretty cool. I love these sounds, the crinkly paper sounds. Why, but I got this sudden feeling of Christmas right now. Like I feel like tomorrow is Christmas or something. Do you ever get that feeling randomly? Like just a happy visualization of snow and lights and Christmas trees. I don't know why. Maybe because I'm talking about cartoons. Maybe because I'm talking about Sesame Street. It's bringing out the excitement of like inner childhood happiness or something. Another thing before I move on and show you the next stuff, tell you about the facts and stuff. This is the first album episode where I'm using this microphone wind muff. It's like the puffy thing. Here, I'll hold this up so that you can see it. This thing, and it's fluffy, and it's nice, and it's very cozy. But it is the first album episode of the whole series where I'm using something like this. Usually I would just use the Blue Yeti with nothing on it, just bare. And I'm wondering if you can tell a difference, like if it helps with background noise and stuff, if you like it better, or if, I'd like to know if you're still awake and you want to comment tomorrow or comment next week or something and just tell me what you thought after listening to it. around, always try to learn new things, what might be more relaxing. To me, I think I like this better because I don't have to stop as much as I used to because of certain sounds like throughout my house or outside or just whatever. Of course, it still picks up loud sounds, but I think it's really nice. It makes the sounds really soft. So let me know what you think. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and slide this back into the cover because I have a ton more stuff to show you and tell you about. Okay, so these were the 2 records for today. I enjoyed telling you about them both and showing you all the cool art on them, all the cool pictures and stuff, reading you all the information. So I really hope that you enjoyed that. Now, next, I'm going to show you a couple things, and then I have a whole list of facts to read to you. So the first thing that I want to show you are these. And today I'm just going to show you the cover and the back side of them because I want to dedicate a whole video to just doing page turning sounds with these because, oh my gosh, they make lovely sounds. And that is one of my favorite triggers, page turning. So you can see I have quite a big stack of these. I got these at a rummage sale or a yard sale or a garage sale, whatever you prefer to say. But I got these at a yard sale, and they were $0.25 a piece, and they are vintage Sesame Street magazines. And oh my gosh, I was so happy when I found these for $0.25. Oh my gosh, it was great. I got a lot of other books at that same yard sale. He was like giving away all kinds of children's books and stuff. I was so happy. So I'm just gonna show you the front cover, and just know that I will go in more detail in another video that is dedicated to these strictly. So this one, Sesame Street magazine, it says, and it has Bert and Ernie, and it says friendship, ship, get it, because they're on a ship. So that is really cute. So Oscar the Grouch is painting Grouch ship, so that's really cute. I can't wait to show you guys more of this stuff because it has so many cool things inside. I'm so excited. I'll try to make the video and post it on the 10th, since that is the actual Sesame Street day, is November 10th. I couldn't post this video on the 10th because the album series is on Mondays, so I kind of had to, pick the closest day to it. Okay, so that is that one. This next one, it has Yoda, but up here it says Sesame Street, and it says the electric company right here, and it says it's Yoda. And then on the back, you got all these different Easter eggs here. They're so colorful. They're so beautiful. But there's a little tiny scissors. There's a little tiny scissor. And you can cut this out, I guess. Maybe, you can color them in. You can color the eggs in and send them in. And then there's a little P.O. box for the Electric Company magazine. So that is super, super neat. Oh, these are so cool. I cannot wait to do the video on these. This next one, it also says the Electric Company magazine, and up here it says Sesame Street. I'll hold it close watching still. Oh, it's so cute. It says, "Meet Mr. Toad from the wind in the willows." The willows. So cute little toad right there. And then on the back, let me see. On the back, it has a city of all kinds of different buildings and windows lit up. Oh, I love that. Little clock tower right there. I don't know why this stuff is just so neat to me. Oh, I love it. This one, the Electric Company Superman mini poster inside. Oh my gosh. I wonder if it is still in there. That would be awesome. It's probably not in there. I don't see one. But anyways, so you have Superman there. And it says Superman 3 with supercomputers. And then up there in the corner it says Sesame Street. Gotta love it, gotta love it. Alright. This one, oh, it's so colorful. The Electric Company magazine. And this one has the month and year on it, which I love when things have that. So it says August 1983. And up here in the corner again it says Sesame Street. Cover contest winners. Oh, so someone out there in the world colored this, and they won the contest for the cover of their magazine. Yes, that is neat. And this is something that speaks to my heart personally, because when I was younger, like kindergarten, first grade, second grade, and we would get a paper, like a blank sheet of paper to color on. When it would be a rainy day, we wouldn't have recess outside. We would just stay in the classroom, and we would either be able to color, we would be able to play board games with each other, or we would be able to work on homework or something like that. But I would always make, like, the first thing that I would do on the blank sheet of paper is make a sun just like this at the corner. All my coloring pages that I ever have done of an outside thing, I would start with a little tiny baby sun right up there in the corner, just like that. So this takes me back to, like, the good old days, for sure. Oh man. Did any of you guys do that too? I think a lot of people did that, but so yeah, I'm gonna go more into detail with this on a later episode. So this next one here, it has a little Smurf on it. Let's see what it says. It says Sesame Street up here for graduates of Sesame Street. The Electric Company, September 1983, and cartoons around the world. So that's super neat. And then on the back side, there's a little troll, or not so little. He looks like a big troll compared to these little people running away. Little people. And it says, to read the poem, fill in the blanks with TR. So it's like a little poem that you get to fill in. So that one's gonna be fun to show you guys. Okay. Now this one is actually cut out. The other ones, they're untampered with. Except for the Superman one with the poster missing out. That's the only one so far that hasn't been tampered with much. But this one is actually, someone cut it out right there. Special Halloween party issue. Food, costumes, games, and more. October 1983. So that is neat. And on the back it says, cut these out for the Halloween party game on page 6. So there's little bats that you can cut out here. So, ooh, Spider-Man. Okay, so this one, it is for graduates of Sesame Street, the Electric Company magazines, on the Mayflower, November 1983. So that one's a really neat looking cover, really, really cool. And on the back, this one, it says, "Fast your eyes." So cool. We still got quite a few more. Okay. This one is March 1982, and I love the art on this front part. It says, "It's magic. Sesame Street magazine." Oh, it is so cool. You got Grover here dressed up as a vampire. Grover, what were you thinking? You're dressing up all scary and stuff. Maybe he wasn't dressed up as a vampire. He just has a cape on. He's a magician. Okay. Oh my gosh. See him and all of his bunnies and his top hat. Why didn't I catch on? This one's really gonna be cool to flip through. It has, I'll just show you really quick. It has all kinds of little cut out pieces that the previous owner probably cut out. So those are going to be neat to just look at with you guys. Okay. Oh, this one is the cover of this one. So it kind of came apart because it's probably pretty old, but other than that, it's kept in really neat condition. So I have to be quite careful with these, kind of gentle with them. That way they can stay in the best shape as possible. And I could probably tape that right there, just tape it so that it can stay nice. Okay, so Sesame Street parties. Balloon. Ooh. Bert wearing a little party hat, and Ernie's wearing a little party hat. They got a birthday cake. Oh, sweet. And this was April 1982. So cool. So cool. Oh my gosh. The back of this, Oscar the Grouch is chasing the Cookie Monster on top of the world. That's pretty cool. I'll hold that closer for those of you that are visually watching this. So this one is Sesame Street magazine, Sesame Street, June 1982, and it's My World, it says. And Ernie's chasing Bert on top of the world. And if you hold it like this, it becomes a full picture. A few pictures just fell out, but that's okay. So that's super cool. Let's see what these are. These are just some cut out pieces. See, like this one, that one is cut out from the previous owner. It's a picture of a family, and at the top it says, "This is my family. How many people do you see?" How many people do you see? So, it's pretty cool. So just little fun learning games, learning exercises throughout these books, magazines. Okay, so we still have 1, 2, 3, 4 more. So this one is Sesame Street. That's entertainment, it says. Got Grover and Ernie. They're both here. Come here, you guys. Scoot closer to me. See, they're having fun. They're best friends. Sesame Street magazine. That's entertainment. Oh, and I didn't even see this guy over here. Oh my gosh. And on the back, there they are. Super cute. This is from July/August. July/August 1982. Okay, so. Ooh, I like the back of this one. This one's cool. Got a bunch of little cute houses all lined up like in a checkered board. And red and yellow, my two favorite colors. This is really neat. You see Bert and Ernie there? And it's like an open book, and there's all kinds of little story tale people. Oh my gosh, this is gonna be so neat. I haven't took the time to really look at all the detail on these, but you can see there's the three little pigs. There's Little Red Riding Hood. There is the wolf, her grandma. Well, the big bad wolf, not her grandma. Oh my gosh, and so cool. So cool. This is October 1982. And this is Sesame Street magazine story time. That's what that is. So, it's so cute. Okay, it looks like we got two more here. I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys this one first. It's Sesame Street magazine, February 1983. And this is so cute. This illustration is just so cute. Got Grover here, waking up in the morning, stretching. You can see the sun's just coming up over the hill. You can see it is 7:30 in the morning, right here. Oh, it's so cool. Aw, and then the back, it shows Grover about to go to sleep. Ooh, he has a pretty early bedtime too. You can see it's almost 8 o'clock. So that is very cool. Oh, that's cool. Look at those colorful hearts. So pretty. Okay, so we got one more to look at, and then I'm gonna show you this back here, which is actually a Christmas present that I got for my brother. The brother that I have not introduced yet on this channel. I've kind of introduced the other two while doing haircut videos on them and stuff. But the other brother that I have not done a video with yet, he loves the Muppets. He loves Sesame Street. He loves cartoons just as much as I do, if not more. So I'll talk about that in a little bit. But, so this is Sesame Street magazine School. And there they are again. Ernie and Grover. Ernie and Grover, they're best friends. And yeah. So I'm gonna do a whole video flipping through these pages, talking about it, and just showing you guys different cool stuff. Because those are just too cool to not dedicate a whole video to. It's gonna be great. I will show you one thing before I show you that. So, some of you have mentioned how I like to kind of match my clothes with the episode. And believe it or not, I didn't have any Sesame Street shirts. So I just chose this colorful striped one because, I thought it would fit pretty good. But I do have Sesame Street styled pajama pants, and I just thought I would show those today because these are probably some of my favorite comfy type of pants to wear. Like, they're so cute and colorful. They got the Cookie Monster, they got Elmo, they got Big Bird, they got Oscar the Grouch. So those, and I wanted to show those today. Okay, so now we have this. And I got this not too long ago. I got this like the first week we lived here in my new house, my new town. Okay, so this is something that I picked out for him because he collects things kind of like this. He has a whole collection of Muppets, like different, like these, but big ones and more professional ones. So I'm just gonna hold this closer and show you guys more detail of it because it is so cool. It's like you got almost everybody here and they're playing all together on this big playground. And it is just so neat. Look at those colorful trees down there. Oh, it reminds me of fall. So, that is really cool. Super, super cool. I think he's gonna love it. And he does not watch my channel, so I have no worries of him finding out. And I'm gonna tell him not to watch. No, I'm not gonna tell him not to watch it, because then he might watch it. He's not gonna know. He won't know. But yeah. So, yeah, I just wanted to show you guys that today. And I will be doing a gift wrapping video sometime, maybe at the end of this month, maybe next month. I'm not sure yet. But a Christmas gift wrapping video, and this will be one of the things that I wrap. So I'll probably talk a little bit about this then, too. So I'm just going to set that carefully back down. Okay. Alright, so I showed you pretty much everything, but I also wrote down some facts to share with you guys. Okay, so one of the things that I wrote down to talk about today was that Carol Spinney, which was the voice of Big Bird here, Big Bird, says, Sesame Street puppeteer Carol Spinney retires from Big Bird and Oscar the Grouch roles after almost 50 years, a half a century, almost, playing some of the show's iconic characters, most iconic characters. So he retired October 17th of 2018, I'm pretty sure. So, you know, huge shout out to him for everything that he brought to life with Sesame Street. You know, did the voice for Big Bird and Oscar the Grouch. So that is amazing. Okay, another thing that I wrote down to tell you guys today. Oscar the Grouch was orange before they turned him green. Maybe after being in the trash can a while, he turned green. That's something I wrote in there. Jim Henson decided to make him green before season 2. And then I read something else that I wrote down after I made the little joke, maybe after being in the trash can a while he turned green. It says, how did Oscar explain the color change? And this is how he explained it. He said he went on vacation to the very damp swamp, mushy, muddy, and turned green overnight. So it wasn't the trash can that turned him green, it was the swamp. So, let's see. Grover, also known as Super Grover and Grover Monster, so that's a little fact. Frank Oz, which also did the voice of Yoda. First appearance, The Ed Sullivan Show on December 24th, 1967 as Gleep. So Grover was Gleep before he was Grover. Pretty cool. And then on this page here, I wrote down 7 facts about Sesame Street, just different little things that I thought were interesting. Now there's hundreds of facts out there, so if you're interested in Sesame Street, or if you want to take some time to do some research and reading, there's all kinds of stuff out there about it. It's really quite fascinating once you delve into the history behind this amazing cartoon. It's out of this world. Okay, so number 1, Grover wasn't always blue. In the first season of Sesame Street, Grover was actually brown. Grover. Number 2, Eric Jacobson began performing Grover in 1998. He has performed Grover regularly since 2000. On November 10th, 1969, television audiences were introduced to Sesame Street. So that is why November 10th is Sesame Street Day. So that is pretty amazing. 1969. So 1969, 79, 89, 99, 2009, 2019. It's going to be the 50th anniversary in 2019. Oh, that's amazing. I'm going to have to do something special next November 10th for the 50th year anniversary. Maybe. Hopefully I'll be able to come up with something. Let's see. Number 4, the 4th fact that I wrote down was during a 2004 episode, Cookie Monster said that before he started eating cookies, his name was Sid. Who would have known? Number 5, in 1980, C-3PO and R2-D2 visited Sesame Street. They played games, sang songs, and R2-D2 fell in love with a fire hydrant. That is so sweet. Okay, so we have 2 more facts. 2 more facts. Number 6, Carol Spinning said he based Oscar's voice on a cab driver from the Bronx who brought him to the audition. Pretty cool. And number 7. Okay, this is kind of like a question-answer fact. So, I myself wondered, how big is Big Bird? How tall is he? And so I wrote it down. Big Bird is 8 foot 2 inches tall. So for any of you out there that wondered, like I did, he's 8 foot 2 inches tall. That's pretty cool, just to know. So that is all for today. Usually I would show you a sneak peek to next week's episode, but right now my dad actually has the record downstairs put away with his record stuff. My dad recently just got a record player, and we've been listening to all kinds of different albums, and I'd like to say that I got him back into collecting records. There for a while he was just, listening to music online or listening to CDs or whatever. But now we are delving into the whole vinyl experience. So it's been fun. It's been a fun couple months. So I'm going to take these 2 and we are going to say goodbye to you guys today together. And while I'm finishing up today's episode, I just want to say I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode, and if you have a favorite Sesame Street character or a favorite song from Sesame Street or a favorite episode or anything, let me know and I'll go check it out, or I'd just be interested in hearing your thoughts. Okay, so thank you so much for watching today's episode. I really enjoyed making this. This is probably one of the funnest album episodes that I have made so far. So I will have a good day. So goodbye to Grover and Ernie here. They love you guys. Okay. Alright. Thank you so much for watching. Good night.